Meanwhile, on the side of the road, what is it? Sears Silvertone. Can't even. Wow, look at that. Finally got it here. Wow. Don't see stuff like this on the side of the road much anymore. Anyway, I'm like illegally parked. Kind of 70s cheesy. Kind of cool though. Like, you don't see stuff like this much anymore. I don't think I could get it. I don't know. Well, I got it. And I can't believe this. I actually grabbed it in a customer car because I was on a road test running monitors at the time I saw it in a freaking motorhome. So I came back with a denial eye and grabbed it. So it'll just make a fun video. It's not in good shape. Okay, here it is, the 1968, 1969 Sears Street Find console stereo. And it's kind of disintegrating, but let's have some fun with this. This is just to have some fun. I think it was left outside. There's actually quite a bit of woodwork in this thing. It's coming apart. This is all particle board. I did look up the SAMs for it, and it's 68, 69. Are they just trying to fill space with this thing, or what is this? Like, here you have these things here, right? And if you turn the balance, see that? And this one is loudness. So if you turn the loudness, I mean, this is just gimmicky stuff. Now let's see, tone. Ooh, so if you turn the treble, you get that. If you turn the bass, you get the, ooh. Make sure we get that right in the middle there. See that? That's bass. That's treble. This is kind of like fun, gimmicky, stupid stuff. Stereo alert. Tuning meter. How about this? Squelch. I don't think I've ever seen squelch on a consumer AM/FM radio. I don't know about this thing. It's definitely got a corny clown thing going on to it. See, is the tuning string any good? Oh, it is. And it feels like it's got a 10-pound weight on the back of the tuning knob. Okay, let's see. Do we have a kind of gimmicky thing as this? We have a flip over. Okay, let's see what that. Very hard to hold that still. I apologize, but it looks like there's something there. It looks like there's something there too. So let's have some fun with this thing. Hopefully it, oh yeah. Ooh. So this thing is going to get EOL'd. I'm going to park this thing out because nobody wants these anymore. They're too big. And this one, like I said, the wood is literally coming apart. It's been left outside, stored outside. Has no finish. The wood is all like buckling up. So this is going to get parted out. But I do want to have some fun with it. See what happens. This is a crash and burn video anyway, so can I do this with one hand? I can. Okay. Let's see. Local distant. Let's put it on distant since we are into that. Squelch off. Speakers on. I'm not sure I'm in the right spot there. Console speakers on. External speakers off. Tape play. Radio phono. Radio on. Ooh. Ooh. I hear it humming.
You know, in today's language, here, of which 67 into unlicensed operators that can offer bigger bonuses and better odds because they don't pay U.S. taxes or go through licensing procedures. I'm Bloomberg's Andrew O'Day from the California Deluxe Windows Money Desk, KNX News 97.1 FM. When you're stuck in LA traffic, we get it. You just need to know why. Every time I call in and I ask a question,
wow, I smell it burning. That's...
you guys are freaking awesome. I love you. Thank you. Tell us where you're stuck and what you see at 844 KNX News. Brought to you by
sounds like, it smells like something's wrong with it. Yeah, it sounds very held back. I don't know how to describe it, but it almost sounds like the speakers are shorted. Just listen. It's a very interesting
other supplements, functional medicine.
Yeah, it sounds very something. This is a very sloppy video, but how do we get this thing to turn on? Oh, there we go. Oh, no, you don't. Okay, so we're going to play this kind of game. Oh, sounds good. It's actually working. The needle's working. The cartridge is... It's just full of dry grease. The motor's just like humming and vibrating. How do we get this apart? Okay, this app is called RPM Calculator. I always get axed. And it is a bit on the slow tip, isn't it? I don't know how to get this thing apart. So I gotta do it because this song is just everywhere right now. I was even doing an AM DXing live stream, and they were playing this song on 50/50 shortwave on the where they have DJs on the shortwave station on Saturday night. So let's see what this sounds like. I hope it doesn't ruin the record. Okay, here we go. What is this, a 45? Wow, is that slow. Wonder if the copyright thing will get that. Wow, let's go up to 78. That's still too slow. So this has got to be a 45. So this has got to be a 45. So as a promo copy, this has got to be mislabeled, because that says 33 1/3 right there. So yeah, it's probably a first test pressing is what this is. Okay. Doesn't everybody want to watch me take the screws out of it? Let's open it up and see what's going on. So who made 528 for Sears? Was that Warwick or one of those? I don't know. I don't know my Sears stuff. But anyway, here we go. Looks like there's some shenanigans going on right here. What is this? I suspect there's a biasing issue or something on the amp here that's causing that distortion. You can see it really was left outside or something. It's so rusty. The amp probably about what, 10 or 15 watts per channel. It's got a lot of those blue Japanese capacitors. Those can either be a problem or they can't. It's one of the two. Isn't that a brilliant statement? I want to look at the speakers. And wow, just wow. Look at this. That's a 15. This thing should bump hard. And you got a horn tweeter and a mid-range. There are your crossover capacitors right there to filter the bass off. I mean, it's not like it has a gigantic magnet or anything, but it's not foam surround. It's the folded surround, and it's got the insulation all the way around. This thing was not cheap. This stuff sort of helps dampen and improve the bass response, I think. I think that's what it's for, if I remember right. And it's a sealed enclosure. It's not vented at all, not ported. I forget all my speaker terms. It's been a long time. But yeah, that thing you should feel that. Look at this. It's even got that dampening material on the back piece here. Oh, I see it interlocks from the bottom up like this. It's too bad it's so thrashed. Well, look at the way this spring has been Clarko-twinculated here that holds the idler up against the... I mean, that could seriously be a cause of not having enough friction to actually bite. I sort of chlorotwinkulated it there. Maybe we'll spray a little oil on this. So this is an Alliance. So I lubed it up and tightened that spring. Let's see if it's any better. Check this out. It's got a strobe disc on the bottom of the platter, and it's got a neon bulb there, and it's got this funky reflector assembly thing there, so you can see it's got like a mirror, so you can see the strobe disc. More of this frivolous nonsense stuff. Imagine what an absolute baller you would have been to have this thing in the late 60s. But you really can't see it because, well, I guess you can see it. And it is a little bit slow. Let's see, let's go to 33. That looks really slow. Back to 45. It looks a little bit slow if I'm looking. I can't quite tell, it's so dirty. Well, according to this, it's a little bit more than a little bit slow. Not much of an improvement. I'm riding the short bus right now. Show Me Love is the song that's everywhere right now that they were playing on the shortwave station. Not Love for Love. They almost sound the same, but this is the song. Okay, let's try this. Oh yeah, it sounds great. Despite all my rage, I'm still just a rat in a cage. I guess unless you're getting paid. I want change! It actually sounds okay at a very low volume, but it just has no power. Okay, we ready for it? Despite all my rage, I'm still just a rat in a cage. Here we go. Let's do it. Here we go. So this is interesting because it's like the amp just has no power at all. Maybe low voltage. I'm wondering if maybe this is a doubler capacitor. Would they actually do that? Would they? I think I need to pull the schematic. The other thing I think we should do is use a signal tracer and listen to the input to this and see if it sounds like that. You know what? This thing is waking up as it runs. I was out looking for a couple things to do some testing, and I just sort of noticed it slowly waking up. And I've seen solid state stuff do this before, and there's always been a debate whether it's the capacitors or the transistors, and I still don't have an answer for that, but it's waking up. I mean, if you listen to it now compared to what it was at the beginning of this video, Thing looks like it's in Sam's 955-8. Should see if I have that. Does anybody want one of these? Maybe I could send this out as a gift for you being my loyal viewer. What do you think? Any interest? Okay, May 1968. Ooh. Always like to look at the TVs, you know. Clarytone. So let's see, number 8 here. Ooh. Boy, the background noise today is just horrific. Here we go.
Hi, I'm Steve, creator of Deluxe Light Coat. Unlike painters, we restore your home's exterior using our exclusive 12-step process. We water blast, repair every single crack and chip, and fix any wood rot.
Okay, where's the amp schematic? Because this problem sounds to me like it's in the amp.
It covers flaking, peeling, and yes, even cracking. What paint can say that? If paint has you in denial, you don't need a therapist. Just call Deluxe Light Coat.
Call now to get 20% off your order plus no.
So is this the amp? No.
800-978-2500. 800-978-2500.
Here's a power supply right here. It does not use a doubler unless the amp has a separate power supply. Stand by.
For the team. So here's your drawer full of menus.
Oh.
You'll keep your receipts in this file folder. Whoops. Receipt confetti.
Oh dear.
Oh, and all these sticky notes have everyone's dietary preferences.
Have you tried Easy Cater? Online ordering from great restaurants, tools to save time and stay on.
Okay, here we go right here. This is the amp. Let's see. It does not use a doubler circuit in the power supply, and these are PNP germanium outputs. You have a 0.1 volt drop from emitter to base. That's why they're using an interstage transformer. So let me see here. I think we should check some of these voltages just for the entertainment value. Well, it's been running almost all day. Here's a few thoughts. If the issue was in the tuner, not the amp, it would get loud. It would just sound like crap. But since it doesn't get loud, I'm assuming that the issue is either in the amp or the speakers. Most likely the amp. The other thing I was thinking about doing with this thing is saving the speakers, basically taking a saw, cutting it here, and just disposing of this center section. Of course, keeping the tuner assembly for parts or whatever, and the record player, although I think the record player is just worn out. I think that idler assembly thing with the 2 rubber rollers is just worn down if you looked at the amount of rubber that was deposited on the motor shaft and on the bottom of the platter. I think it's just toast. That's why it's running so slow. So those are kind of my thoughts, but I think we should take a second and at least diagnose it, check some voltages in the amp, and see if we can sort of pinpoint why there's no power. And again, I really just working on audio for so long, you get a feeling for where the problem is based on what your ears tell you. And I know it's hard to tell with the compression of the camera, but it's not very loud at all. In fact, it's very quiet. I mean, it sounds all distorted like it would be blaring loud, but decibel-wise, it's very low. So let's take some voltages in the amp. Well, we do have a full 24 volts across these transistors, so it's not low power supply voltage. Okay, here's the base to emitter bias. That could be a little low. Now look at that square waving. This is looking at the output of the amp. It'd almost be probably better for the video to feed like a function generator into it. And that way you could see the distortion. You could see it if I disconnect this, disconnect the speaker. Yeah, it'd be easier. I wonder if visually, I think for the video, let me see what I can do. This is going into the amp. It looks fine. Yeah, it's not clipped at all. Here's coming out of the amp. You can see how flat it is. It's just clipped and ripped and dipped and flipped. I think it'll be easier to sort of diagnose this thing on the bench. You know, what's causing both channels to sound equally distorted? What's the common point between the two channels? Or is it the same part has failed on both channels? Usually capacitors don't cause something to sound like that unless they're shorted, which is possible that something is shorted here loading down the power supply, but I would think it would have popped or would have burned up by this time. It's been running almost all day. So probably the best way to do this, let me, signal generator, or not a signal generator, but a function generator and a speaker. I don't know. Got to think about it. Function generator, speaker. Here's what a sine wave looks like. I'm going to turn it up. This is supposed to be a sine wave. I mean, there's a hard clipping, like there's a voltage limiting problem. I mean, you could see that that's it, that the peak to peak is fixed. What an interesting problem. Okay, well, the channels are not the same. Here's the other channel, and I'm getting twice the peak to peak. It's kind of the same thing. I mean, that's what it should look like, sort of that right there. But not, but all the way. Is this the output transistors or a biasing issue, or we gotta figure this out. The scope connected onto the red and blue primary of the interstage transformer. And you can hear the output starts clipping before the interstage transformer, the driver does. So let's see, what voltage are we getting here peak to peak? Just, where do we start to clip? We start to clip right about 4.96 volts. So let me go to the other channel and let's look at it. Now I'm connected onto this side. So let's see where this one starts to clip. Same thing. But yet the output is like like half of the other channel. So this has got to be in the output transistors. You hear that? Maybe the output capacitors. But if the output capacitors were weak, wouldn't we just get less bass? Unless the ESR, usually, I don't know, usually when the output capacitors fail, it sounds real tinny, like it has no bass. And why would that cause it to clip? I think it might be these output capacitors, because I look at one side of the capacitor, look at that. And then I look at the speaker side of the capacitor. You can't even see anything. So what happened if I took... See, I got this on. I got this down as low as I could get it. What happened if we did this? Let me see. Connect that to a capacitor. Oh, yeah. Sounds a lot better. How about power, though? Let's see. Okay, so, yeah, now here's looking at this. See the 60 cycle hum in there? Okay, so that's the problem. It needs a recap. Imagine that. Would anybody have ever thought that something from 1968 might need a recap? Wow. So anyway, this is way too small. 56. These are 1,000. So let me see what I can find, and let's hook it up and listen to the thing blast. First thing I want to do, I know they're non-polarized capacitors that are in there, 1,000 microfarad, but first thing I want to do is I want to see what the polarity is. So basically it's negative, so this is positive and that's negative. Now what I'm going to do is we're going to clip a couple of these in there. These are not the right thing, but 470 microfarads at 385 volts. Okay, capacitors are hooked up. Oh yeah, there we go. That's what I was looking for.
Centers are designed.
Former federal prosecutor and UCLA law professor Lori Levinson on what prompted this last-minute appeal.
That the administration is going to send the Venezuelans out of the country to El Salvador on planes before a judge has an opportunity.
Yeah, that's what I was. Got to be careful here because oh yeah. That ought to get the neighbors fired up. Wow, good stereo decoding.
Featuring the Sportage Hybrid. Go fact yourself.
K-Jazz.
Algunos botones
Channel 6.
de la misma cera con la que se pudo haber hecho.
Years ago.
It feels good that my self-worth and all.
Agitabas tu mano y me siento
And there's some. Why that's okay.
There's companies in the U.S.
Yeah, it sounds really good. That's what I expected. And a total recap with new capacitors in the crossover, the bass filter capacitors, this thing could really sound good. But no one wants it. I don't have a use for it. So, like I said, we're just going to have some fun with it. The internet got its capacitor thing, and I think we can probably send it off to where it was headed before I grabbed it. So this right here, this is the capacitors that are bad right here. The 1000 microfarad non-polarized that couple the output transistors to the speaker. Plus, I'm sure all the other ones are bad. They're just old. So that's it. We had our fun with it. Somebody else, I think, really enjoyed this because it seems like a high hour thing, especially that turntable. So anyway, say goodbye.